So briefly about me, my name is Anil Sharma. I am CEO and founder of Trillo. We are Google Premier Partner. Okay, so with that short introduction, let me share my screen and we will walk through a few slides and then we will walk through the product itself. So I'll give you a presentation of the product, how end user are going to use the product and how do you configure it. Okay. So this is our short agenda for today. So we'll see what is Gemini Enterprise. Now, how is it different from the Gemini you would use by going to the Gemini website? And what are the banking use cases? So we'll talk about few that will give you an idea, but there are multiple use cases you can fulfill with AI and in particular with Gemini because of the compliance and security requirements that are fulfilled by Gemini. One aspect of building any AI application or agentic application is bringing in the knowledge into the AI world. How do you do that securely? Now, how do you bring your knowledge, which might be in the form of document, or it may be even the databases or the other applications. So we will talk about that, and that will be the central theme of our presentation today. Uh, and then how do you make sure that the architecture is secure? Because banking is a highly regulated industry. So you need to ensure that there is no sensitive data leaking to AI or outside the firewall. Okay. We will go through a demo. We'll spend a lot of time on the demo. And then we can talk about how do you build automated agents. So, you start with the AI by building the knowledge base, but eventually you want to leverage that knowledge to automate some process. So for example, your underwriting process, a loan processing process, uh, and several such processes, how can you automate them? Okay, so we'll talk about that. So let us see what is Gemini Enterprise. Okay, so you might have seen Gemini, gemini.google.com. You go there, you ask questions. You go to ChatGPT, you ask questions, and it will answer. Okay, so the Q&A experience where you can mine the knowledge of the world. Okay, Gemini Enterprise is a similar platform with several things whereby you can bring in intelligence on your enterprise content. And then you can build the agents, AI agents, okay, your own agent, which will help you work sometime in an autonomous mode, sometime by interacting with the human being, what is called human in the loop. So Gemini is a platform where you can build your own Gemini-like application and plus more, okay, uh, for your enterprise use case. So it's a agentic AI platform. It is designed for enterprise. What that means is the security and compliance, they are baked into the product. Okay. And you can connect multiple sources for building the knowledge. So your knowledge might be residing in documents, but that is not the only source. For example, what are the interest rate for today? What are the treasury data? Many more things. Okay. And then if you are processing a loan application, so knowledge of that application itself, it might be residing in multiple applications, which may be on-prem. Okay. Some data you might bring in Google Cloud storage. Some of them might be on the Microsoft SharePoint. So all those knowledge or source of the knowledge, okay, how does Gemini Enterprise ingest? And the most important thing is it will do in a secure manner. So it will have a security around it, compliance around it. You will be able to audit, you will be able to control. You can also define who can access what, because in enterprise, not everybody can access all kind of data. Okay. So all those things, when you overlay on the top of Gemini intelligence, you get the Gemini Enterprise. Okay. That's a Gemini Enterprise definition. Okay. Let me give you a preview of that before I deep dive into the slides. So see, it's in a very simple way, it is uh, a chart interface. This is the simplest form of a Gemini Enterprise. And then you can ask any questions. I have done few question answers. I'll just simply click on that. Okay. And then it will provide the answer. So how does Wells Fargo define unauthorized transaction in billing disputes? So if you need to check that, and we haven't ingested uh, the entire document set. We have taken some documents from the uh, web and we ingested. So our knowledge is very limited in this particular case for demo purpose. But it could be a very vast knowledge mix with hundreds of documents. And we will talk about how do you ingest those documents, how simple it is, and then how do you retire some documents and then override with the newer documents and so on. Okay. So asking question answer is simple. See, if you start new chart and you type in here, okay, you can ask. Now here you see, you can say, okay, for answering my question, you can also do the Google search. So you can rely on the knowledge built by Google, or you can turn it off. You can say only answer from my documents. Okay. Or sometimes you may do other way around. Okay. So both are available. Other than that, uh, you can say search company data, search Google. You can also do the deep research on your document or on Google. Okay. You can also generate image and we'll see some use cases, how you will make use of that. Or you can even go and create the video. Okay. So that's a very simple interface. Your end user, they are going to see. Okay. So that is the part where, like, see, once you create as an admin or IT person, you build the Gemini enterprise for the end user. Okay, this is all they could see, but that is not all. See, you can gradually give uh, access to some of them to do more exciting things, so they can become creative, and you can choose what they can do or can do. Okay, so we will talk about that. That is how, like, see, how do you get, the big question is how do you get banking documents into Gemini? Okay, so we'll spend some time on that. Let me go back to slideshow. Okay, so that's a Gemini Enterprise. I gave you a glimpse of that at a very high level. uh, So what are its key capabilities? Okay, we saw that you can do deep research, you can build the knowledge base, you can do the video image generation, okay, and you can do the conversation. You can talk to your documents and find out answers. So you have a Google Gemini like product on your fingertip. Uh, okay, but other than that, what you can do is you can build the agents, and agents are something like, they will work, they will do work on your behalf. For example, a agent might review a loan application and find I need some information from the applicant. So it may draft an email, which you can decide you want to review it before you click on send, or in some cases you can give agent permission to send it autonomously. Okay. So now you are bringing the AI capability into the system gradually. Okay. Whereby AI is helping you do the work. Okay. And see, most of the time, the human in the loop will play a very important role. So what you might start small with doing some routine task, okay, drafting a nice email, and then gradually add more and more capability. Other than that, Gemini Enterprise also provides an agent marketplace. So there are some agents which are available out of box by other vendors or other companies, and some of them are large companies like IBM or Henderson Consulting and so on. They are building the agents. So you can go and grab their agents and can use in your process. Okay. So that's so it's a platform where you can do a lot of things, and we will only cover a slice of it, but we will make sure that you understand that particular slice. Now, the one question is how, what are, like say it's a great, but how do I use for my use cases? Like how do I use it for banking? Okay. So these are some of the examples, and these are very few. You can think of 100 examples. So there may be a policy or compliance Q&A. So in bank, sometime the customer will come and ask some questions. You are on the call, people are asking questions, and you want to answer it. Okay. So one way is, okay, I'll get back to you. You will talk to colleague or you'll read some document. But now Gemini, what it does is all your public information, if you provide to Gemini Enterprise, like every employee of the bank will have access to it. Okay. And not only that, Gemini will ensure the accuracy. It will do the audit compliance. You can do the feedback. Okay. You can ask Gemini to clarify the question further. Okay. You can also ask Gemini what is the source of your answer. So that way you can you can ensure that the information you are providing is accurate. Uh, so similarly, like customer service assistant, market rate intelligence. Okay, you can eventually build the agents which might tell, okay, this is my particular situation. Okay, what kind of a I mean, the home loan rates or what plan will be more suitable for me. Okay. And the AI agent can do that work for you. Okay. So it can do a lot of reasoning and then can come up with the answer. So this is a stepwise, this is a progression. You start with small things, you build a knowledge base, but then you get into more advanced use cases of a bank. Uh, you can uh, take a help of an agent with the underwriting process, which is very complex. So now, see, by now it should be clear, and probably you were aware of it. Like knowledge is in unstructured form and structured form. Okay, so normally enterprise applications, okay, they had data as a knowledge. So everything was in the database and it was much more structured. But a lot of knowledge is residing in unstructured data. Uh, for example, documents, CSV files, okay, PDF files, and so on. So all that knowledge, or even transcriptions and so on. So you can start gathering that knowledge, okay, and start organizing that. So structured and unstructured data, the combination of that becomes a knowledge. In the demo, we will show you how do you ingest it, how do you bring that information to Gemini, okay, and how do you bring that securely. That part we will cover in our discussion. So what knowledge is not, it's not simple upload. Like, so once you upload your documents, and you can upload in thousands and tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands documents, and can build the vast knowledge. For example, some of the customers, they are doing the analysis of last 40 years of their contracts, okay, to mine the information from that. Uh, there are cases where, uh, you know, uh, libraries, okay, they are building the knowledge base. Museums is another place where people are building the knowledge base so people can mine the information. And those are the places where they have documents. They are in hundreds of thousands or even million. And since it's a Google technology, same google.com, it can handle the scalability. But what it does is it you will ingest that information, and Gemini will index it. It will process it, and it will create a knowledge graph behind the scene. And that is what becomes a knowledge. Okay. And with with every month, the AI is improving, and we have seen the progression. You will become more and more confident of what AI is providing as answers. So now, how do you ingest the knowledge? Okay. What are the different ways of ingesting knowledge? So one is a cloud storage. Cloud storage, for those who are not familiar, like it's a humongous, like infinite storage available on Google Cloud, where you can put all kinds of files. Okay, so it is, you can think of it as a G drive or SharePoint, but very large scale. And that is where the businesses, they will bring the knowledge. So say if IT department have a collection of documents somewhere in their internal document repository, they'll transfer it to cloud storage. Okay, so that's one way. Or you can have a G drive or SharePoint where the documents are residing. Uh, Gemini can go and pick up from there. There are some databases you can, and then final uh, thing is, so there are so many out of box, connectors available. They are called connectors because you're connecting Gemini to your source of information. But the big thing is you can build the custom connectors. So see your bank data, for example, when you want to expose, you will build a custom connector, and then you will control what goes into the Gemini. Okay, and we'll talk about that. Like how do you make that secure? Because several banks, they run on-premise data centers, and they are they have a lot of sensitive information. So how do you make sure that the data which you're sending to Gemini, okay, it's a secure, and it is protected, and you're not in violation, and there is no breach, and so on. Okay, but the process is simple. Like, see, for the data, the documents which are publicly available, the cloud storage is the best source. So you create a bucket. It is called bucket. Is a folder. You root folder, you can say, or a drive. You you create that. You upload all your documents, and then you connect to Gemini, that folder, and Gemini will take over from there and will ingest all the knowledge. Will do the analysis. Okay, and in a couple of hours, your knowledge base will be ready. Okay, so that is how you ingest, and it's very simple. 1, 2, 3. Now we will come back to this slide later once we do the demo, probably. But this is about creating a secure architecture for the bank. It's very high level diagram. Uh, okay, uh, and the way uh, it works is you build the connectors, and these connectors live within your firewall. Okay, so they can stay within your firewall. Okay, they don't have to be on the Google Cloud. Okay, if the data is not sensitive, then you can move this to Google Cloud. So you can replicate this on this side. Okay, but if you build within your firewall, then whenever Gemini says, okay, give me data, what you can do is you can do the redaction here, and we can help you as a partner. And there are several technologies available whereby you can say, okay, the raw data is coming, but I want to remove the sensitive data from here, and I want to do the audit of that. So you can remove all the sensitive data here, and the redacted data you will send to Gemini Enterprise. So that way, like, see, whatever goes to Gemini Enterprise is a data which is which does not contain any PHI, PII, or any sensitive information such as account number, the account number, email of the person, address, name of the person, social security, all those things you can mask here, and you can choose what to mask, and then you can replace them with a dummy identifier. So when the result comes back, you can associate that identifier with the actual account, and then you can consume on the other side. Okay, and that is very important for the banks or any regulated industry, that you are able to control what you supply. uh, AI engines. Okay, so you can consider this as an AI engine, and that will be applicable whether it's a Gemini or any other AI engine. But uh, Google Cloud and Gemini together, they provide a lot of uh, services you can use out of box to build a secure architecture. Okay, so that's uh, for example, if in OpenAI case, you will use some other cloud to build that. Uh, okay, let us jump into a demo. Okay, we'll walk through the demo, and then we will show you how do you set up the data store, how do you do the conversation with that, image generation, and then deep research agents, and uh, and then we will leave the floor for any Q&A you might have. Okay. So we saw this interface for the conversation. Okay, let me show you some more uh, uh, Q&A. Okay, so you type in, it will answer. Now, while it is answering, you can type in another question. Okay. Mhm. Since I've selected Google, it's taking time. Okay, and it will show you what all it is doing, and then it will provide you the answer. And you can build, your favorites list here on the side. You can delete them later. Okay, pin them, or you can rename, label them. So for frequently asked questions, you can build your own FAQ. Okay. Now let us see. We will create an image for. Oh, what happened? Let's start a new chat. Okay, so let me show you the. So it showed the steps. Okay, now I will show you where I created a diagram. Okay, so this is underwriting process diagram Gemini created. Now what I can do is I can comment on that and I can keep refining it. Okay, so as an example, what I did, I create a something which I can share on the social media, for example, for a loan promotion. Okay, it was a very simple question. I didn't provide much details. Okay. And then I said, okay, no, this image is okay, but use the Wells Fargo bank color scheme. And then it changed the color of that. Okay. So that is one example. I could have created a video also in the same way. Okay. So these are some of the Gemini uh, uh, features that will be available to you as an end user. Now, another one interesting is idea generations. Okay, so what you can do here is you can type in anything you want. Okay, you want to work on, and you can submit it to Gemini. Gemini will work in the background for a few minutes, and then you can come back and see the result of that. And similarly, you can do the deep research. For example, if you say, uh, okay, for a particular loan program, you want to do some research. You want to do research in the context of, say, a particular applicant without naming the applicant. You can say, okay, I have this particular situation and I am looking for, okay, a right answer for the customer. Okay, you can type in here and it will do the deep research. And when it comes back with the answer, you can continue your conversation with Gemini and ask it, like, can you clarify such and such thing? Okay. Or can you find out more information about it? So it becomes, you have a very high powered consultant on the other side, okay, who can educate you uh, and who can make you more knowledgeable about your own uh, business and about your own industry. Okay. And by choosing that mix the knowledge which is publicly available from the Google, okay, you can also use as an offline tool to understand. That is how I have been using it. So I'm giving some of the tips. Uh, for example, I would type here that I want to build such and such kind of application or agent. So how do I go about it? And then it will give me a summary of that, and that will be a starting point, and then I will continue that conversation, and finally I will zero in on something which I was looking for. Okay. So that's a trick. In AI, one of my experience is, you need to lead the AI into the right direction. So you need to be a participant, and if you read it and then you guide it, okay, it takes you to the right place. So that's uh, about deep research. There are many more things. Now let us jump into the other side, where you, as a admin or IT person, okay, want to build the knowledge base. And see, we talked about that you can ingest your documents and you can build the knowledge base. Uh, and end user can make use of that knowledge here. But how do you do that? So for that, you will go to this interface. Okay, this is the interface where you will reach. And then from here, you will go back to this interface, which I was showing. That is an end user. So this is a link for that interface of also the link. Okay. So this is what you will give to the end user. Okay, who are also enterprise Gemini user in a way, but they they don't want to see the details of how you ingested the data. Okay. So here there is a concept of application. Okay, you can create multiple kinds of applications. Okay, so now we are in the IT world. So you will simply say create application, and then you will give it a name, and then you'll select the region. Okay, then you might have other options. Okay, it will include the cross domain documents, which are some IT terms. Okay. Uh, Here we have created an application for the banking doc. So let me go to that application. So this is where we are. Okay. Now, how did we ingest documents? So it was very simple. Okay. We created what we call a data store. Okay. Which is connected to Google Cloud storage. And then we can import the documents from there. We can also purge. We can remove the documents. Okay. And We can see the status of that. Let's see when they were indexed, became available. Okay. Any other event. Okay. What you can do it will create the audit trail. Uh, and you can view that. What are the activities? Okay. Parsing and processing, what was going on. So these are some of the advanced options whereby what you can do is you can process documents in a particular way. Like say, for example, you want to extract the information and want to create a Word document or something. Okay, so you can use other technology from the Google, okay, for document processing. But those are some of the advanced features. They are coming in the enterprise. Okay. And then now from here, it becomes very simple. Like so you simply say import. So from cloud storage, which is a bucket, you can go there. Okay. You can also add a new source here. So you can say new data source. And here you can see these are out-of-box applications you can connect to. So Google Drive, Mail, you can also have your mail as a source. Remember one thing, you can create application just for yourself. Okay, you can build one application for yourself where you want to aggregate everything and then see the results. So Google Drive, Google Mail, then BigQuery, cloud storage, you can connect to databases, you can connect to Microsoft Documents, uh, Dropbox, okay, and then other applications such as Salesforce, ServiceNow. And not only that, you can also build your own custom connector, and they will show up here and they will become available for the user to use. Okay, so that's how you build your own Gemini, and therefore it is Gemini Enterprise. So that's about the data source ingestion. You can also add an existing data source if somebody else is created, then you can add. The next thing is out of box agents. So we saw that there is an agent for the idea generation. Okay, that is available here. Okay, so those are Google provided agents, and you can add an agent. So you can create a custom agent. You can add an agent via marketplace. Okay, so you click here, and now you can search for the marketplace agent, and then you can add them. Okay, so those are the agents, and then you have extensive security settings for. Okay, so these are the features which are. So once you give this interface to people, okay, you want to make sure they are accessing from home and so on, and people are not trying to fake a user from remote, or they get access to link or flooding the network, okay, or trying to do automated query. So you can use Google technologies such as model armor and so on, so to make it more secure. Then yeah, you can do that. So the web application is automatically integrated. Now see, you have created a knowledge base. Somebody in your team wants to build another application and they say, okay, I want to make use of the knowledge using API. So you can enable the API here. So what they can do is this knowledge base, they can access within their application. So they might be doing an agent using some language, programming language, but they want to access the knowledge which is available here and want to build a new agent, a new application, which may live in Gemini or Google or may not live here. Okay, so they can get the API access to whatever you have built here, okay, and then they can program. And this is very powerful for the people. And then finally, there are analytics feature whereby you can do the analysis of what is going on Okay, who are the active users? Uh, what is the retention, growth rate, and so on. Okay, so this is just the demo environment. Uh, so these are the features available as an admin to you on the Gemini Enterprise side. Okay. There are many more, like see, you can create the notebook LLM. This is again a way of uh, indexing document. And so this is very powerful tool. Like see, you can create the your own notebook, upload documents, and then you can uh, do research on those documents. So that becomes available to you. This is more for programmers. Okay, so the people who are in the programming world, they want to do the code review, automated code review using Gemini. So Gemini uh, can be enabled. It can be given access to, for example, the Git repo or their code base, and it can do the analysis of the code. It can help you write the code with the autocomplete and so on. And there is more is coming on this one. So these are all the features of the Gemini Enterprise you can use. Okay, and everything you can build other things in the Google Cloud. So Google has another complementary technology, uh, which is called Vertex AI, where you can build high code agents which are more, like say you want to build an AI vision agents, okay, which will do the some, or you want to do the processing of the documents in an automated manner. So you get with the loan application, you get tons of documents. You want to do the processing of that. And you might already be doing the processing in-house. Okay. But there are cases where you want to do some kind of a processing, then you can use the AI vision models there. So that is called Vertex AI, and that is part of the Gemini Enterprise. Okay, so that's a kind of a landscape of Gemini Enterprise. Okay, let me go back to the slide and then show you some more things before I leave the floor open for question answer. So we saw, like, see, we can set up the data store using the admin view. The in end user view we can use for conversation. We can do the image generation, which is very exciting. You might create some nice uh, diagrams for yourself, uh, or even you might delight customer by sending something. Okay, uh, and you we saw the deep research agent, which can help you do the research on some topic. Now, let us talk about the action agents. So we are not going into the detail of that. Probably we will have another webinar on this topic where we will create an agent. So the first step is you build the knowledge where. So you bring in the data, you interconnect systems. Now all that thing is there. Now you want to build agents which will do something on your behalf. For example, an agent may monitor a mailbox. Okay, whenever a document for a loan comes in, it will download the document, it will analyze it. Okay, we'll check whether it's an empty document, it's a correct document, and then maybe like using an API to banking system, it will attach to that loan application. Okay, so it is doing that in an automated manner. Or uh, it may do the analysis of all the documents as an underwriter, and it can say, okay, all these documents are available, but for this particular case, because of the following parameters of the applicant, okay, I need some more information. I need a W-2 of last year. Okay, that is missing. So these are the agents. They will have those kind of intelligence. Okay, and a lot of these intelligence they acquire not by you telling them. Okay, because with the large language model, the intelligence comes from all the sources. So what you can do is you can control it. Like, so you can define the parameter constraint around what agent can do, cannot do. Okay, but these agents are, you don't have to train them. They may do amazing things. Like, see, when you provide them constraint in the data, and that is the beauty of a Gemini Enterprise. Like, see, it will let you govern what agent can do. and cannot do that. Okay. So, the business value is immediate. And so this is where the industry is going anyway. So they will go there. The AI will start doing mundane things, routine things, and then the people will do more of a guiding AI. So one analogy I give, there were times when surgeons were doing the surgery, okay, but now the robots can do surgery. But it doesn't mean the surgeon goes away. The surgeon is one which is overseeing the robot. Okay, it's that now they can do more surgeries. Uh, so underwriting example we talked about. So those are the agent. Okay, so this is how you will progress. Today you build a knowledge base, you do Q&A, okay, and then gradually you integrate your data source into Gemini, and now you start building the custom agent. And Gemini Enterprise is the platform for doing all of it in one platform. Like you don't have to go away and do anything anywhere, and it is becoming better and better every month with every release. Okay. So if you get started with this one, let's see, you are in a very, very good hands. Okay. So these are the key takeaways. Knowledge is nothing, it's your data and structured, unstructured, plus AI, doing analysis and creating some kind of a graph and interrelationship. Okay, that's the knowledge. Uh, you can build a knowledge base without compromising security of your data. Okay. You can start very simple. Like, so that's taking 1,000 documents of the bank and building a knowledge where it's very simple, especially if you focus on the public facing documents, which are anyway available on the web. Okay. And the last part is a partner like us, Trillo. We are there to help you like in this journey. And there are we can get started that conversation in multiple ways. Okay, we can help you with a pilot. We can we can do a very low risk pilot for you, and we can find out the programs which are available to get you started faster with no or low budget and so on. So that is our role. So we are there to help you. uh, Yeah. So with that, I will leave the floor open for question and answers. Any question that I can answer. Okay. If there are no questions, then I can. Yeah, you can. So these are some of the questions you might have. How do we get started with licensing? So it's very simple. Like you just get in touch with us. We'll get you started. Okay, you can uh, and you can do the free trial. Like so there are trial periods before committing. Okay, and we'll work with you to make you successful. What is the This is one very important question people they ask. What is the effort to build a connector? So there are several applications where connectors are available. So you can use them out of box. So minimal. Okay. But in some cases, you will build a connector. So Google provides a technology whereby you can build connector in 2 weeks, 4 weeks. But some of them, they might take 8 weeks because if you are building a redaction and you are doing the processing, loan processing application, everything about that. Okay, there may be multiple application where the information is residing on the other side. Okay, so it might take uh, a longer time, like see with all your internal audit and security and so on. But you need to get ready for that because that is what eventually is going to happen. Your competition will do. So you have to. Uh, and the security audit, how does it work? So Google provides an extensive security audit. We saw some of the analytics screen whereby you can go and check. Uh, we can also set up the alerts. So all those things, they are possible. Like so you can set up the alert. Uh, we can whenever you do the ingestion of the data, you can monitor on the other side. You can also build the offline analytics pipeline for doing the analysis. So those are some of the questions we could think of and we can answer for you. Okay. So that covers everything I wanted to talk about Gemini Enterprise. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you so
I
much,
just
Daniel.
want to one question from your side, like how does this system ensure customer data privacy while processing sensitive banking documents?
Yeah, so that in the connector architecture, we showed. Okay, so yeah, that's excellent. And that will be in the mind of most of the people. So yeah, you can see this diagram. So this is a banking data center. Okay, you have the raw data here where there is a personal information and everything in the raw data. You go to connector. So in this connector, what you do is you will build a redaction logic. Okay, you will redact data from the raw data. Okay. And whatever data you will send to Gemini Enterprise will be redacted data. And what a redaction means is you remove the sensitive information and then you put a dummy, either dummy information or no information, but you say, okay, for this particular document of for this particular data set, okay, you attach a key. For this key, I have redacted following information. So when the data comes back to you, you can plug in that information again. Okay. So for example, if you're processing loan application and you don't want to let people know what is the application ID, you can put a dummy UUID here and then go here. And when the result comes back, you can associate that UUID back with the account loan application ID and can send to the data center applications. So yeah, and see this thing is within your firewall. So it is on your data center. So before data leaves your premise, okay, goes on the internet, you're doing that kind of processing. Okay.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay. So I think that concludes our. Thank you, Adriana. Thank you. Okay. Okay. So thank you, everyone. We finished before time. I'll give back a few minutes. Okay. And yeah, if you have any question, feel free to reach out to us at Trillo. You have my email and you'll get the copy of this presentation. Okay. Just for this, I'll flash my email information once again so you get it.
Okay.
Yeah, so
thank you.
You can always reach and it's phone number. Okay, thank you. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.